Well, I had gaps.
Okay. Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. Can everyone up stand for pledge allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we get a roll call, please, Russ?
Brandon Earl.
Here.
Andrea Kreifels.
Here.
Jason Newberry. Jessica Seeliger.
Here.
Robert White.
Here.
Jim Yates.
Here.
Pat Zeka.
Here.
Okay, next up, I need adoption of the agenda.
Are we gonna add?
Yes, can we make
Yeah.
an addition? Can we add Debbie's system to 2.6?
Okay, I need a motion to make that admin.
So moved.
Got a motion? Got a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Recognition of patrons and staff?
Nobody to see it.
Okay, first discussion item, education spotlight.
Yes, Linda and crew, come tell us about the convention.
Here you go.
All right, so we're going to talk to you a little bit about the National FFA Convention and Expo, which we went to the last week of October. So this was kind of starting us off. This was a big group picture. This was actually two different chapters. This was Medicine Lodge chapter and our chapter together.
No, that's you.
We met up with Medicine Lodge in Wellington,
That was
so.
you.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
My
It's
bad, guys. I'll go, I guess.
Okay.
So we met up with Medicine Lodge. We figured it would be better for us to travel as a group, build connections, get to know more people. We drove to Springfield, Missouri, and we stopped to eat dinner that night at Lambert's. We kind of mingled with the other chapter, and we got to meet other chapters from Oklahoma, Missouri, Texas that were all driving through to also go to convention. And we got to learn a bit more about what they do as chapters and how it varies from what we do and different fundraisers, different activities that they put on. Day 2, we went to Buc-ee's, which was a first for a lot of us. It was pretty cool. There was a lot of stuff. We went to the Merrimack Caverns, which was really exciting. We got to experience total darkness in the caverns, which was interesting. And we got to, if you see the picture of the caves, it's called Mirror Lake, I think is what they called it. It's kind of like an optical illusion, and one of the guys that we were with got a really cool picture of it, so yeah. And then that day we also went to Uranus. It was a lot of jokes, a lot of fun. It was really cool, really interesting to see the differences. And we also went to the Hunter's Honey Farm. It was fun. We got to learn a lot about what the different kinds of bees do, everything from pollen to honey that they make and that we can use as like allergy meds to help, or just like with our food, different products that we can use that come from them. So that's about all I got.
Okay, National Convention. That morning we woke up really early. We were about an hour out of the city, so it was a decent drive for that early in the morning. We started there, we got our badges and everything, then she releases us into the convention center. We get to go with a bunch of schools. I think we went and saw Purdue, Colorado State, K-State, OSU, just so many schools there, and we got to talk to all of them one-on-one about like our different pathways. Like me and Lily want to go into vet science. We got to talk to them about their specific things and what they offer. Boston, more on the turf side, had a really good conversation about OSU because that's where he's looking at, and he got to learn all their different things they offer. And then in the picture you can see we went to the opening session, and as you can see, every little dot is a person. There's 6,000.
Just to kind of give you an idea, that is the Colts stadium. So that's where they play football. So it was like basically half of the playing field, but then the stadium going up. There are kids all the way to the nosebleed to the very top of that Colts stadium. The first day, it was 67,000 registered members and guests there that were present. So there was, let's see, this will work? No, okay, never mind. I was trying to see if I had a little pointer. Down there on the very, 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 very far end of the as far away from us as you can possibly get from where our seats were, was a dance floor. And they had a live DJ there. And there were probably, 3,000-4,000 kids down there doing line dances. And so it was crazy to see those kids, how they just all got along, how they formed lines really fast, how they were all going the same direction, and these two were down there in the middle of it somewhere. So it was a lot of fun though, but it is crazy when you get in there and you start seeing all of the kids and the adults and the people that are there from all over the United States, the Virgin Islands, Alaska, Puerto Rico. So it's pretty amazing. All right, continue on. Career places?
Yeah, we went to a lot of the career things. We learned about like the different jobs you can have starting just going out of high school, not having to go into college, and then the different ones just going to a year or two of school. A bunch of places like that. I came
Internships.
Yeah, all the internships they offer and everything.
So what was opening session? What did they do during opening session?
We listened to Rick. I believe that was his
Eric
name.
Jackson.
No, Jackson. Rick Jackson. He talked. We got to hear his story. It was a lot of clock it and yes. That was his thing. His overall, what his speech was about was he had a rough childhood, not a very present father, and then later in life he learned to get over it and his father was back in his life and he ended up being there. And then before even National Convention, he got sent to the hospital and was basically on deathbed weeks before getting up in front of all those people. And he talked about that and how he got over that and just keep going. If there's an obstacle, you can overcome it.
His manager literally came in and he was like, I know that you may not want to hear this right now, but you've got it. You are the opening speaker at the National FFA organization, and you've got to overcome this because you're on, and you got to be back in health in less than 2 months, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To get back and to get in front of these kids and talk to them. And so it was his first appearance since he had been hospitalized for 12 days. So, I mean, he was in the hospital in like ICU critical status for weeks. I think it's maybe 2 weeks almost. And so, yeah, so he was like, I have to go. I have to get better now. And so he did. And it was pretty neat, inspirational speaker. So, during the opening session, kids can also try out each year for the National Choir and the National Band. And so the National Choir and Band sang opening sessions. It's amazing to hear them. These kids come together and to see what they accomplish in just a short amount of time. And that we do during the opening session, they also have the parade of flags. So all the flags are coming in. The kids get to meet the national officers for the first time, kind of on stage there at National Convention. So they had the mayor of Indianapolis, the governor of Indiana was there. They got to talk to the kids. Secretary of Agriculture was there. So they get an opportunity to actually hear and listen to some people that are pretty influential people and make some awesome opportunities with that.
So after the convention, we were all pretty tired, but we still traveled into Kentucky, and we got to tour the Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory, and we learned kind of how they pick the trees, make the billets from the bats, and you can see some of the bats there that we got to hold and take pictures with. Nikki Mannel's bat, I think it was, I took a picture with. You can see me on there. But we learned a lot about how the bats are made, apply a lot of what Mr. Elder does in his program with that, and how they use the CNC machines to build the bats. all the MLB bats, or a lot of them, are built there. So it's really kind of neat to see all that. We also got to go to Churchill Downs, which is on the next slide. Yep. And learn how those horses are trained and built up to that point, and see some of the sites there. There was races going on though, so we didn't get to tour the whole facility. But it was neat in that sense to be able to see the races going on and the actual horses on the track. We went to the rodeo that night.
Yes, and that was, well, hang on, that
There's
was,
pictures.
there's a couple little pictures up there in the corner.
You can see the fire. That was really, really fun.
I think the kids
Yeah.
didn't know quite what to expect for the rodeo. That was our entertainment kind of portion of this trip. They weren't really sure what to expect, I don't think, because I think, the rodeos that we have here are just kind of local, small rodeos and kind of more, local entertainment and local people. These were professionals that have won, the professional bronc riders, saddle bronc riders, and bull riders. Some of these kiddos that are in their early 20s have won over $1 million already riding bulls. So these were professionals out there competing for big money, and so it was pretty neat to be able to see them at a different caliber and a different range for what this was. There was a trick rider there. That's a lady who I admire because, I still like to ride horses. I don't have near the agility anymore, but this gal is in her early 50s and doing trick riding, and so crazy amazing abilities that they have. Mr. Bojangles, you guys remember Mr. Bojangles and his story? Tell them a little bit about Mr. Bojangles.
Mr. Bojangles was in a flood, and was it Hurricane Katrina? And they rescued him. They don't know how old he is, but he was doing all these tricks, sitting, bowing. What else did he do?
Oh, he
Pray.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, prayed.
The parade. So he, this little pony, this horse trainer took him in and just started noticing that he had a lot of talent about him. And instead of just kind of giving up on him because he was in poor nutrition, poor health, just, kind of really down on his luck, he took him in and trained him. And now he's traveling, around the country doing these shows and everything. So it's pretty neat to be able to see something like that. And also the career opportunities that kiddos have, even with different sports. And so I think that was kind of a good idea too. So what can you guys tell me about the announcer that was there at the pro rodeo, or at the rodeo? Do you remember
Former
anything?
state officer.
Former state officer.
For Georgia, I think.
Yep. So he started in 8th grade, and his ag teacher, much like I do, voluntold him that he was going to get the opportunity to give a speech in front of people. And as an 8th grade kid, scared to death, got in front of him, did the speech. And so he was like, okay, I'm done. I did my speech. That's it. And so by his senior year, he was chapter president. He was district president. He went on to be a state president and in the FFA. And then, went on to just, he said that was his start. That was how he wound up doing the career that he's doing now and what he loves. So, it was kind of neat to hear his story as well because, he said, because here I was this 8th grade kid and, my ag advisor said, no, you're going to do a speech. And, and I was laughing because I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much how I do it too. So, they just, hey, we're doing this tonight, so show up. So, it is pretty neat to be able to see this. They actually had a young lady that was there. Her SAE, which is a supervised agriculture experience, is in broadcasting. So guess who got to interview each one of the rounds winners live on RFD TV in the middle of the arena? This young lady from Oklahoma. So it's pretty cool because that's how, you kind of get your start and how you get started going with all these things. So day 5, the trip home. All good things will come to an end. But I tell you what, the drive home, even though it was a straight trip from Indianapolis to Wellington. We stopped for lunch and a couple gas breaks along the way and potty breaks, but we probably had so much fun coming home. We tried to make up our own trivia games. So Boston and I were trying to stump each other with words and meanings. So we were coming up with all kinds of, facetious, gregarious, inflorescence. So we were stumping each other with really big vocabulary. So we kind of had a good time doing that. But it was the kids were really excited about it, and I think the biggest part, I didn't write this. This was theirs. I had them. I said, you need to make a presentation, make it. So when I had the chance to sit back and to read it, I was like, wow. Okay, we have goals now. Okay, so we have things to do. Which that was a big talk that they told me. We're going to go to state this year, and we're going to win 4 areas. And I was like, oh, okay, And then they said that's after we win nationals, going to the turf grass science contest. Which we didn't really come back after last year. We didn't come to talk to you guys about the turf grass science, so we're going to move right into that. But this is kind of a little bit of a review from the turf grass science contest last year. So there are 16 teams from across the country that competed. We were 5th nationally. So I was pretty darn stoked because I felt I had done the worst job an ag teacher could do on preparing these kids for that competition. I was like, oh my gosh, I got sick. I didn't take them out. I didn't do the things that I needed to do to train them. And they did a lot on their own, but these kids rocked it out there in San Diego. They did an amazing job of working hard and working together. So the trip home, I was told, we're going next year. We're going again. They were like, we're going to go, we're winning next year. So I was like, okay. So that's where we're at now, is Turf Grass Science 2026. It's going to be in Fort Worth, Texas, January 18th through the 21st. We have 4 kids going this year. Boston, Ava, and Lily are 3, and Rogan Wetta is our 4th team member. So these kids have already been busy. We have gone to Kansas City for an SFMA. I always turn to Boston for my initials because, So this is the Sports Field Management Association. We went up there for their annual fall meeting, we got there. We looked really out of place because, this was like definitely the youngest group there. Everybody else was like, what, 50s?
Probably
Yeah.
30s to 50s.
I don't even think the 30s was there very much. There weren't very many of the 30s there. And so it was so crazy because, they were all kind of staring at us, which I was like, okay, it'll be all right. We'll blend in. No, we won't. And so once they introduced us and they told the whole group while we were there, oh my goodness. Every single one of those these were managers of some of like Blue Valley School District's turf grass managers. Okay, that is their baby. And if you know Blue Valley High School or Blue Valley School Districts, you've got turf, you've got soccer fields, you've got artificial turf. These guys were on these kids and they were like, come here. And we thought it was a joke at first because, this guy was like, come here, get down on the ground. Come here, get down. And they were like, and the lessons just started. And they just took these kids in and just started teaching them about turf. It was coming fast and furious. And every single one of them, here's my card. Call me and I'll help you train. I'll help you train these kids. I'll do whatever you need. They wanted these kids. And then they were like, do you want to go into turf grass? Because we need you. Look how old we are. And we need you here. We need you to come into this. It was amazing. So we've done that. We went to OSU again, which was fantastic. We got to paint this big ribbon on a sports field, which was really cool. We learned how to stencil logos, which is going to we got ideas. We got this down now, man. We can stencil and we know how. And now we're just like, we're on this. We can stencil things. We're going to be stenciling yards like no other. So we were really trying to kind of get ready for that. Which this one here, I think this year they're going to be, you know, I look for them to really do very, very well because they have barely been putting in the time and the effort. What are some takeaways from the competition last year that you guys, even in Boston?
For this year?
Well, even from last year to prepare for this year.
Go over a lot of the old tests that we were given. There's really tough questions on there that they tried to trick us, but we're going to get them this time.
I think the biggest challenge, at least for me and for them, I think, was that when they had identification, so many of the times we have something to work from. So we have a list in front of us. It may be 20 grasses and you may have one in front of you, but you have that 20 on that list to pull an answer from. They didn't have that. They had nothing. They had to have everything memorized. So if they didn't know what grasses were going to even be there at the competition ahead of time, yeah, they were, you know, and we could tell it when we looked, looked at all the scores. So these guys did phenomenal with that. Same way with all of the entomology and bugs that they have. So this is the next thing, is that we are getting ready to go there. So we need to ask for permission to go out of state, to travel out of state. Like to see if the board would cover our fuel costs again, which is just going to be one school vehicle. We're going down to Texas and back, and we'll have a little bit of driving in around to the different areas that we have to go to, but we shouldn't exceed $200 on that. And then for the district to just cover meals for myself, and then just again, so that I can book the VRBO and hotel and other charges that we're going to do on my credit card that I've got from the school, and then pay all of that back through the high school. So we've got everything caught up from the FFA trip that we just took. So we'll be going out and getting donations for this one to kind of help with some of the things that we need to have help with registration and that. But we should be able to cover this again with that exception. So, do you have any questions? Or crazy comments?
Do you think you should, not to exceed $250 for gas? I mean, that's just exceed, so we're not saying you're going to, but just in case you get down, you don't know what gas is like in different places.
Well, and
this
is kind of bumping it though already, because it's like 331 miles
That's
down
just
to
did the math.
Fort
It should be
Worth.
about $75 a
So
week.
it's about,
You drive the speed limit, I guess.
so it's 331 miles down there, 330 back, and then I added on 100 to kind of just for driving around safe. So,
Push it.
and we bumped it to $3 a gallon, and usually fuel's a little bit cheaper as we start heading south. So we were surprised at some of the gas prices out there, because when we went to Indianapolis, remember we said 1,000. We didn't even go over 500
Oh, that's great.
going to Indianapolis. So we came way under what we thought, going to Indianapolis. So yeah, so we're good with
I could
200.
not go that far driving the speed
I got good entertainment with me. That's a good thing, is that I've got good entertainment. They're a pretty good group of kids to travel with. So.
Anyone have any questions for him?
limit. Can I make a motion that we approve the $200 for gas for the FFA trip to Texas
And cover her meal?
and cover her meal?
So a motion, is that it? Okay, we have a motion on the floor, I need a second.
Second.
Got a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
All right. Good luck, guys.
Good.
Thank you.
We'll let you know in February.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Thank you.
Okay, next up, bond issue results.
Yes, so the board put a bond issue before the community that failed last Tuesday, and so back to the drawing board, or however the board wants to move forward. Brett and Shelley from DCS are here this evening to continue that discussion. The board's options are obviously, you can abandon it, you can look at a special election in March, which I sent you the timeline over the weekend that they were able to provide for me. And then that timeline is a quick turnaround, date-wise. And then obviously the board can push to next November. But those are the options in front of the board. So I will hand it over to Brett and Shelley.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I don't trip and fall. Shelley's got some stuff that she's going to go over, but this is what you're going to hear is based on our experience over the last 40 years. So, and then I think that you guys need to decide what you want to do. At the end of this, there's three options. You run it again in March, or you wait till August, or you don't do anything. That's really basically the three options. So with that being said, Shelley got some stuff that she wants to share with you.
All right, well, thank you for having us. Obviously, I'm sure everyone was disappointed by the outcome, that it wasn't a win. However, I really think you did a great job. And so I want to just share some things here that I think are important to keep in mind as you decide how you want to move forward. So first of all, this was, a more local election. So I did see that Sumner County had 25% voter turnout. In the 353 district, you actually had a little better than that, as to be expected with a big important issue like the bond on there. So you were somewhere between 29 and 30% by my calculation, and I just used the registered voter number that I knew you had back when you did the survey in January, February. But so we'll just call it 29% voter turnout that you had. 46.2% voted yes. And if you remember, when you started down this road, you really made the decision to go for what I would call a stretch goal, where you looked at what your survey said, where people said they felt more comfortable, and you said, but our kids need all these things. And so you did what many boards do. You said, we need to stretch, we need to put as much on here as we can and see if it passes, because if you don't, then it's things your kids are going to do without. So you did that, and you fell short, but you only fell a little bit short, because 75 of those no votes voting yes, and you would have had a different outcome to the election. And that's less than 4% of the voting public that really would need to change their mind. So I think you did well. You did a good job as a district getting the information out, answering people's questions, and according to what the survey said, you got a much larger percentage of people to vote yes than what we would have expected might have happened. So I think that tells us you just need a little bit of tweaking and you run it again. So what are your options if that's what you want to do? Based on our past experience, particularly when you didn't miss it by that much, you don't need to go completely back to the drawing board. You need to pull that bond amount down some to get it to a level that people are a bit more comfortable with. How do you do that? You're going to go back and revisit your list of projects. Are there some things that maybe weren't real popular with people that you need to take off? Are there some things that maybe you can change the scope or the way that you were approaching a project to get the price tag down on some things? Those in combination, you're going to change the scope, you're going to change the number a little bit. You've got some great information now, and we think you should get right on this. Our thinking is March. The timeline is short. You need to decide what you're going to do by December the 2nd so that you can pass the resolution by December the 8th. Doesn't give you a lot of time, but it is enough time. You have some great sources of information already. You have, first of all, the results, so you didn't really miss it by much. You have the survey that was still done this year. I think those results are still valid as long as you're not going gonna go off in some totally different direction. So you wanna revisit that. You have all the information that you heard in your community meetings, and I think you got good turnout. So you wanna discuss that, and you have all the input that you, the board and administration received while you were, just out in the community since August. And you put all that together, and I think you can move forward really pretty quickly. As Brett mentioned, your timing, you can either run this again March the 3rd, you could do August the 4th, you could do November the 3rd. I think there are some real advantages to doing it in March. You've got good positive momentum. You've got education already out there to people, so it won't take that much to say, hey, we still have these needs, we're gonna get out in front of this before inflation takes away the savings. Because you scale back and you get another year out, you're gonna lose some of your scope to inflation. You don't want that to happen. So get ahead of inflation. You've got positive momentum. You just get in there and keep going with that. I think you also, in March, you'll probably have about that same group of people that came out for this local election, because that's kind of what this November was. You'll have those same people come back out again. So again, you think about those 75 people that you need to persuade to vote yes instead of no. You kind of know who they are and what they're thinking, because they are those people that were involved, they were at your meetings. If you go to, something that starts getting the state and the national issues on there by going, August or November, you're gonna have a different group of people that comes out. You'll have larger voter turnout, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you get a lot of people that really aren't involved with the school. They're not paying attention to the school issues. And I always think if you show up and you aren't aware of what's on the ballot, you'll probably vote no. So those would all be the reasons that I think just push forward, go in March. I believe you can meet the timeline. And our advice would be get a work session scheduled next week. Get together, look at your survey data, talk about all that you heard from your community, and start moving forward would be what we would advise you.
I think we did a good job. I'm pretty new to this process, but on getting the information out there, where the money's going, roofs and infrastructure that it needs. So I think we was very transparent in that effort. The one thing I don't think we did well, maybe, since I've been on here looking at the budget, so to speak, and where the money's coming from, I don't know if the public understands that our mill levy is controlled by the state, and we have very little control over it. And the most we can raise for capital outlays is 8 mills, which is under $1 million. This is just ongoing routine maintenance, right? Vehicles. To do any type of major infrastructure repairs, the state, the way it's regulated now, forces you to go out and do a bond.
Yep.
If you don't do that, there's really no way to do those
absolutely right.
repairs.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely
So
right.
I think we need to sell that our hands are tied. Now, maybe we can do one roof with what we got, but then we got no money for emergency.
Don't have any
Anything else?
Yeah, don't have
Right.
any money to fix the bus.
Exactly. So I think we got to do a better job. In my opinion, is saying this is why we need this bond money, because we cannot do that through a normal budget process.
That's good input.
Yes, I think
Absolutely.
that's good intel too, which no doubt you picked that up from, what you've gathered these last few months. So I think any of that.
But 6 months ago, I probably wouldn't have thought that. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said, like,
And
what
I'm
you've
probably
taken in.
representative of other people
Yeah.
in the community that
You're
don't
exactly
realize
right.
that.
Yeah, so I think you make a great point that those tidbits of wisdom that you've come to during this time also that can help inform that campaign. Because, you don't
So
run
I
the same
assume if we
campaign
move forward,
twice.
that you'll be involved
Mhm.
putting together a new presentation and media to get out there.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
Yeah, if you guys have a work session and what comes out of that work session, we'll model all that around it, and we'll do the not the same thing, just a little bit different
Yeah.
to work around that new scope of the new project list that you guys come up with. But-
It's about educating the public on that.
It
I
is,
think that's
because a lot,
exactly it, Jim. I think there was so much misinformation, and I think we need to do a better job of making sure that we get the correct information out.
The
I
roof,
just think it was louder.
I think the roof situation was a huge issue. I mean, the fact that it was on the last bond issue and things weren't done, and now we're at, you had a bond for X, Y, and Z wasn't done, and now you're asking again. That didn't sit well with lots of people, and I mean, I can see why.
no, I
And
get
I
it.
think they're not really knowing what we're gonna do to the roofs.
We can spend a little bit more money and find out exactly, we'll have to go up there and core drill every one of those. And that's gonna be some costs associated with that. So we can do that, because if we could do an overlay versus a tear off, it's totally different. But we have to do a lot of upfront cost to do that.
I'm just saying, I think
Yeah.
the roof was a big issue. Having it on a bond issue and it wasn't done what the bond issue was for, I mean, that was
Yeah.
totally.
Or partially
Well,
done,
I
maybe.
think,
wasn't
Yeah, but I mean,
I think
partially
things were
done.
done, I just don't think that it was
Well-
clear what was done.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was really out there.
How much does it cost to do those? What are we talking cost to know for certain?
You got 7 buildings. I'm gonna tell you, I'd have to ask the guys who are actually gonna do it, but it's gonna be $700-800 a building probably, to come up and do it. So you're looking maybe $5,000. And again, here's the trick, is that if the bond passes, then,
Yeah, if
You
the
won't-
bond passes, that can be
you won't get
rolled
billed
in,
for it.
yeah.
It's
It can be rolled into the bond, but is it worth that to know for certain? To be able to tell people that we've done our due diligence? Not that we wouldn't be doing, please understand, we would be
But the
doing that
bond,
anyway,
the
but
bond allows for entire replacement of the roof.
right now,
Worst case scenario,
worst
right?
case scenario.
So there could be savings
Maybe.
potentially,
yes,
maybe.
and that's
Maybe.
what, that's what we've been
Maybe,
trying
maybe.
trying to convey, but I don't know if people are.
So question, I guess, if there's savings, and if there's some of those, because we did some repairs, I think Pat would, I think we did some repairs back then, from understanding. If those roofs just need an overlay, right, that say they're still pretty good, that extra money, does that go back to pay down the bond, or does that go back to the school district that's paying elsewhere? Or it's our choice, probably, right?
Either or. You can either pay the bond back, or you can use it for other capital projects. You can't use it for teacher salaries, stuff like that. It's got to either be for capital projects or pay down the bond.
Capital projects that were specifically indicated in your bond language that was passed by the voters.
Is that something we should address in the new presentation, what we would do with that money?
We were asked in one that we were in, and we could answer for ourselves, but not for everyone else.
Right, so maybe if we're gonna use it wisely, let them know that, or if we're gonna pay down the bond and have less mill levy, we ought to tell them that too.
Yeah.
Transparency.
So you guys all in agreement to do this in the spring? Because if there is, we can get on the calendar probably next week or so to start a board.
I think we need to at least have we do
Work
need to
session.
have a work session, which we already have
We
one
already have one
scheduled.
scheduled for next Monday.
Yeah, I think next week, we then make a decision.
What
The
days?
question is, how many things do we wanna
What day
have?
is
How
that?
many big discussions do we wanna have in one work session?
We've only got one. Let's see.
I think it was on, what was that work session?
What's the date?
Oh, is that
For
for
Washington?
17th.
Which I think,
Next Monday.
I personally, I don't want to stop that conversation because I think that goes hand in hand. I heard so many people say we shouldn't have 7 campuses, and we own 7 buildings, we're running 6 schools. And I think it's very important to remind people that we are leasing one. And I think people need to know we are still having that conversation.
I think we can combine these
You know
two
what I mean?
together next week.
They do kind of go hand in hand.
They do hand in hand, because that would help cut future costs,
Right.
and hopefully improve education at the same time, right, which is what.
Try to do.
Because looking forward, with the enrollment going down, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm assuming those 40 mills issued by the state on the evaluation, that's gonna happen regardless, right? So, but we don't know the money we're getting back, and that's tied to enrollment. So we'll be, even though we're paying in the same amount or more, we may be getting back less money, right? So we gotta find a way to, at least cost containment.
Yep.
some way,
I'm
which
not
ties into that.
I'm not sure, and I'm really just throwing this out there, if part of the confusion on Washington wasn't, had something to do with
Absolutely.
the way it went. Just, I really don't know, I didn't hear anybody say anything other than, I.
Early on I did, towards the
Yeah.
end I didn't so much, but early on.
That's a
So
good
I,
point.
that's.
You know, this is all good stuff that we can address.
Yeah.
In this winter.
Mhm.
Do we just wanna add that to our work session on Monday?
What day is that?
Next
Monday
Monday.
the
Week from today.
This one,
A
17th.
week from today?
instead of 6.
Does that work for
Yes.
you guys if we just add that?
Is that a motion or how do you add that? Or
No,
just say-
then we'll-
We
We
don't
can just add it,
necessarily-
Just add it?
motion for that, yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions for them while they're here?
Thank you guys for all your work.
Yeah.
Do you want us to attend the work session?
I think that might be helpful.
If you can.
Yes?
We'll be here.
What time?
If we're gonna
6
brainstorm what we're gonna do, yes.
Yep. Week from tonight.
I guess bring the numbers again so we can
I
look
have
at.
questions about the football bathroom, so yeah, please come.
Okay. Excuse me?
Just bring your
That's what a lot of
information that you
people
had,
said.
the amount wise and all that, so we can kind of look at it again.
Yep, I'll bring all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
bring
Yeah, we'll
the-
bring all
I'll
that
the
stuff, go
survey
through
information
everything.
If there's any of that you wanna revisit.
I'll find out exactly what it will cost to core all those roofs. We'll have all that
Awesome.
information, so, you guys can make some good decisions, right?
After they core it, and this bond, let's say, doesn't pass again, and you patch it, what's the length on that then before we start having issues?
Well, where they core it, they cut a spot out, they core the insulation, bring it out. They'll take pictures of it, they'll analyze it, they'll put it back, then they'll, patch back over that. It's a patch,
Right. That's what concerns me.
yeah. So, but that's the only,
Only way that.
It's all you can do. It just worries me if we decide to do this,
Right.
if we don't do it, and then we're gonna
there's,
fight that
there's,
issue.
there's another way to do it, but it's called a nuclear test. And it's very, very expensive, where you don't have to do that. They'll take an infrared picture overhead, analyze it, it's like X-raying, but it's very expensive. And I don't think we wanna go down that road. But that is a
Sounds good.
possibility. Huh?
Doesn't sound good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nuclear at
Yeah.
least.
That's what they call it. So, okay. In the meantime, if you guys got questions or something, email them to me. We'll make sure we get everything addressed when we come on the 17th.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Al.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Open to public.
What's that? That's up to the board.
Yes, it is.
What session?
Yeah, they're open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, you meant the meeting. I'm sorry. I thought you meant right now. I'm sorry. Yes, next week is open to the public. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
I misunderstood you.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, next up, WRC board members.
Yes. Cody is here to discuss his board.
I'm just here if anybody has any questions. We had 2 positions come open. One was our presidential position. Another position was held by Irma Ratliff. Both current board members did reapply. Those are the applications we received. So the WRC board did reappoint, which they have the ability to do for our president position. They did reappoint Hanky Holfelder for another term. And then Irma Ratliff for another term, which is the one that you all were to vote on to approve. So I'm just here for any questions that anybody might have.
I do have a question, since Cody is here. Is this something in the future that we can just add to the consent agenda where he doesn't come present it because we don't make any decisions for them? Is there a reason why he has to
If
be
the
here?
board wants us to, we can. Yeah.
I like your smiling face, but we don't want to waste your time. We're not making any decisions for you. It's kind of something you guys do.
It's just a formality.
Yep.
So,
Are you guys okay with that in the future, or he doesn't get to
I
present?
mean, if there's ever any
It's just a
questions
float.
beforehand.
Yeah.
I agree.
So you guys could send them back.
Good call.
Do we have to make a motion on that, or we just change it?
No, I just think you just need to direct me to do that from there.
Okay. I guess just send it to Adam when that time comes, what your recommendation is, and we'll put it in the consent agenda and don't waste your time.
Alrighty.
Everyone good with that?
Yeah.
You need to vote on Irma's though.
Yeah.
So I make a motion that we approve Irma Ratliff
Are we
for the
adding her?
WRC
She's
board.
already on, isn't she?
This will be her second term.
Oh, we still.
Second.
Yeah, it's a 4-year term. Her
Yeah,
term was
I just
this.
didn't know why we.
Yeah.
Hanky and
And Irma.
So we are voting.
We need Hanky also.
Hanky's is appointed by the WRC
Okay.
board, so you're
that's
just
like that.
approving Irma's.
Okay,
Okay.
so we have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Thank you.
Thanks, Cody.
Appreciate it.
Next up, WHS schedule.
Yes, Mr. Brungart had something come up this evening, and so he would like us to table that till December.
Okay.
That conversation, please.
Okay, and then
He
next up.
apologized. He wanted to apologize to the board.
No worries, okay, and then we'll do the 2.6 will be Debbie Sisson.
Yes, Debbie, come on up.
Thank you for letting me butt into your agenda.
Absolutely.
I'm actually an employee of 353. I'm a para at middle school. I would like to see if I could waive the fee to have the building Lincoln for a fundraiser. I'm going to work on my grandson's basketball team, which is also 4 or 5 of the kids that attend Lincoln. So I'm just here to say that I'm going to organize it, and I would like to see if I could waive the fee.
For practices or?
No, just to do a fundraiser
Oh,
on one
fundraiser,
day.
duh.
Yeah, just on one day to do a fundraiser.
You'll do all the cleaning and all that?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, I will.
Clearance.
I figured you would.
Yes.
Anyone have any questions for her? No, we entertain a motion for it.
So moved.
We're going to do chili and cinnamon rolls and all that.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. I need a second.
Second.
Got a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? There you go.
Thank you for this
Very good.
opportunity.
Debbie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. As soon as you said chili and cinnamon rolls, I think you got it.
Okay, first action item, student transportation vehicles.
Yeah, so Kelly also had something come up this evening and was unable to be here. He wanted to apologize to the board, but he explained last month a request to put in an order through the state bid for 2 transits to add to our fleet. And then one of the maintenance trucks that is in really rough shape would get sold. One of the Suburbans would go to maintenance, and then the other Suburban would stay in the fleet. So really, the only thing that's going away is one old maintenance truck. So, but continue to. If Ellie was here right now, she would be telling you it's a struggle to constantly be trying to keep vans in stock. There's lots of requests.
Did he get bids and timelines on that?
Yeah, 4 to 6 months, and then the bid is in your packet. So,
Said 60,000.
Darcy,
Oh,
since
okay.
since the bond didn't pass, I mean, how do you feel about this coming out of the cap outlay? I mean, that's a chunk, that's 120.
Yeah, I mean, I do think no matter what, I think for sure you need one, but we do have the issue with needing more vehicles usually during the springtime especially. I know Ellie does struggle with that. I think, if their bond doesn't pass, we need to look at prioritizing obviously what we can do and can't do capital outlay. But I don't know that it's gonna make a difference on your vehicles. You still are gonna have to rotate. Yeah.
Has there been any other unplanned major hit to the capital fund that would take it down? How about we, is
Knock on wood.
that
knock on wood. Yes.
right?
Sorry.
I'm trying to think what maintenance stuff. I know we've had some boiler stuff
I know
starting and that kind of stuff.
It
Not
sneaks up on it,
not
but
major stuff right now, but it was probably
it's a matter of
6
time,
to
I know,
10
but.
somewhere,
Right.
So I know that we have, like, part of the problem is the vans are also being used for field trips. Do we have any kind of I'm gonna say guideline for when we use the vans versus when we use a bus?
I don't think there's an official guideline. I think that with smaller groups, the principals are going to check out vans every time because then they don't have to pay
Right.
for a bus. The longer time goes on, the bus fee has almost doubled, along with everything else in the world. So I think that has created stress on the system. These guys can attest to that because I think also as our class sizes have, changed over time, and class sizes are smaller, you see teachers that are grabbing vans for smaller groups that maybe would have taken buses more.
Are they grabbing more than one van for that group?
Yes.
Okay, so versus.
Yep.
That would probably be the issue
Yep.
then.
It's been,
Okay.
it's been my experience, and you basically, that for field trips and things, you usually check to see if there's another event going on. Like
Yeah, and if
sports
there's
or something
something
else that's gonna need it, and then you
And Ellie's really good about reaching out and trying to make it work.
or giving athletic things or whatever that is.
Just see if we can reschedule.
Yeah, I think principals.
Like
are real good at
sometimes it
doing
was
that.
like a student of the month situation where they were taking students to like Big Cheese, or like Kennedy goes to the Humane Society, so he has a couple Suburbans checked out for that, but she needs them. So they were able to reschedule their student of the month Humane Society trip at a different time, kind of situation.
That's what I thought.
What do they charge for a bus?
It's for a field trip. It's around
Like
$500 now.
How much
It used to be. It's around $500.
Well, I asked Darcy today, what,
It's $47.86 an hour, so it depends on how many hours.
Yeah, but that's kind of what it's been averaging. That's what you guys are
We
getting
get
at,
to
so
anywhere between $250 and $400 a trip.
it's
That's
been
car
going up.
payment. I mean, realistically,
Yeah.
one of those field trips can pay for a monthly payment on one of those vans, so.
So
So moved. Oh, do you have more questions? I'm sorry.
no, I can't remember it now, sorry, sorry.
That was
So-
per bus, not per field trip.
Yeah.
Correct.
yes.
Yeah, so one field trip is, you're paying a van payment basically, and how many there are a month, that starts adding up. Okay, so we do have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same.
No.
3 yes and 2 no's. Or 4 yes, 2 no's,
Okay.
yes, my bad. Okay. Administrative reports.
Is that anything you want to share?
A lot of stuff going on at the middle school. They did the market day again. I saw some of you there. I think they did pretty well. A lot of kids, a lot of times after they pay back their loans for that, they get to keep that profit, so those kids are excited. The other thing, Desi Schwartz, I want to call her Weekly, but Desi Schwartz, with the Knight's Closet, doing a lot of t-shirts, and she got one of those grants, and I think she just completed the basketball or wrestling t-shirts for our sports teams, and FFA is doing a lot of, or the ag class, I went down there last Friday, and Nick has all kinds of like vegetables down there, and they're doing a lot of neat things. So I think they completed some sidewalk projects around our building, fixing some stuff. I know they were pouring concrete and stuff the other day, so.
I was glad he put in those fast bridge scores. It was good to see those. I like to see those. Fast bridge scores are in his report.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I was glad to see it.
I have them for everything.
Okay, I'm just, they were in the report, so I saw them, so I'm
Okay,
just saying, thank you for putting them in the report.
Which we'll take those again here in a few weeks.
Yeah.
All happen at the very, or the first round happened at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So we'll take them again here in a few weeks.
Okay, board member comments? Andrea?
Sound like Pat
Pat?
wants to start.
No, I didn't know what I was gonna say was talking to you guys or talking to, okay, I'll go ahead. Why weren't, fast bridge scores printed at the high school?
I don't know. You and I talked about that a little
Yeah,
bit.
when I said that, I'm like, I think we've talked about this. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone I talked to that, I mean, I happened to go to,
Right.
one in,
So we didn't print them for any school this year. Previously, we just printed them for the elementaries. I don't know if the middle school, high school have
I
ever
think the
just
middle
printed their
school
own. But at the elementary level, this year we used a one pager that we used for everybody. Last year, we just used it for third grade because that's the one that's required by the Every Child Can Read Act that the legislature did 3 years ago or so. And then we did that one pager for kindergarten through 5th grade this year based on some feedback from the teachers. So it was the same scores, just written a little bit different. The hope was that it was easier for families to understand rather than having to read through all of the things. That it had an opportunity for the score, and then it looked at here's how your kid scored, and here's what the benchmark for whatever that testing area was, and then here are the interventions that we're doing at school, and here's some ways that you can help at home. So that's how we organized that sheet, and the teachers went over that with families at conferences at the elementary level. But this was the first time that we did that because we just
I
piloted it
think the
last
middle
year.
school did, but maybe I just misunderstood something. I was just curious. Who does FASTBridge at the high school? Everybody? Seniors don't.
So they do a reading and a math at the high school, and they only do the others if they score in tier 2 or tier 3.
Speaking of that, conferences, I just don't care for student-led conferences, and I've heard that from so many people. I mean, my person with Vivian had no idea who Vivian was. I mean, he knew who Vivian was, but, and it was great, I really appreciate the conference, but several people say that their person they talked to had no idea who the person, they don't know each other. And so it's really awkward, and it's really kind of worthless in my opinion. I see you guys shaking your head because somebody.
I agree with you, and I've said that for years.
I know, I have too,
my
but
kids have never had.
I've never gone to the high school, and
My
I've gone to
kids-
middle school.
yeah. My kids don't necessarily end up with nighttime or crew con teachers that
Yeah.
have them in other things, so I also would love to see if there's another option out there. I know that's the way that a lot of schools do it now, but
A lot of them,
and we do, like, as parents, my husband and I do make the effort then to go to see each individual teacher and just touch base with them. So I think, but I don't know. I don't know if our teachers even have time for that the way we have it set up. So I don't know if there's another.
I just asked Ashley how Derby does it, because that's who I talked to, but they just do it like the old way, just all the teachers are in the auditorium and you go talk to who you want to talk to, and I mean, that's just how they do it. I just don't understand why. I mean, are the senior digital portfolios, okay, so every senior does senior interviews now, correct? Okay, I think that's awesome. I think that's really, really good. So by digital portfolio, you're talking about what?
So really that's looking at their individual plan of study, which we just did a session about that last Monday at during in-service.
Is it kind of like what they're doing now?
It's similar. It's similar. So the goal really is, and I think with the student-led conferences is it's all supposed to tie together so that you can see how we're doing academically and what those choices that kids and families make for themselves as they continue to grow. Like, hey, I'm now interested in this, so I'm going to choose this pathway, or I'm now interested in this, so I'm going to say I'm not going to do that class anymore. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and go this way. So those things are supposed to tie together. And as a parent myself of a kid that's a senior that just also had conferences, I understand what you're saying. Sometimes they feel very valuable, and sometimes it's like that kind of missed the boat, So
I mean, the interviews at the end of the year.
I think that's a great process.
Yeah, I do too. So that's not the digital portfolio, or that is.
They're tied together.
Okay. I mean, what you'll see, they'll just. I mean, I just think it's like an interview, and you ask questions, and they are put on the spot, and they have to answer. I think that's great, and I'm really glad we do everybody now. So that was just my question. Can we?
So I think some of those things that we just talked actually about it last week too at one of the workshops that I went to at the end of last week. There are new graduation requirements for post-secondary assets for the class of 2028. So this year's sophomores. And so we have to track some of that differently than we've tracked it in the past. And so there's this whole list of things. I know.
Now what do they want?
More to do. So anyway, so Peggy and Kathy and I went to that workshop at the end of last week, and we're hopeful that we'll have a good plan together with the counselors.
Is that coming from the state,
Mm-hmm.
obviously?
It was state board approved last year, so it's last year's freshmen, so this year's sophomores. That's so both freshmen and sophomores will have to have it, but so we'll have it for everybody in high school once they get to 2028.
Then, we talked last year and we did a really good thing by adding 5 days. You can miss 5 days without taking finals. And I think afterwards also let's discuss, in all that conversation, part of it was, if you just have an A, why should you take that final? I remember that. I know you and I were. And I'm just bringing it up basically because of my grandchild, because Elle, she took a D in volleyball. She went back to school way before she should have. And then you take off to go to physical therapy, and you missed this class twice because that's when you got into, and then before it's 5 more days and 7 more days, and you have an A, but you're still gonna, because of an injury, you're not. I would just like to revisit that for second semester maybe, because I know the Gregory girl did the same thing last year. If we could maybe do that, what do you guys think?
You know I'm for it.
Yeah, no, and we really did a lot of that discussion after we decided the 5 days.
Yeah, discussion at the same time, but no, I will always say I think that a doctor's note should.
Well, and she also, Elle just told me, she said that, she asked, it's just 3 classes, and she asked the teachers, and they said, well, it's okay with me, but I don't want to get in trouble. So then what's the principal supposed to think, because it is the policy. So, then you have to weigh that too, so. Anyway, if we could revisit that for second semester next month or sometime, I'd appreciate it.
So do we want second semester then, waiting for handbooks, but tackle it next month? Is that what I'm hearing? From the majority?
Well, it's whenever, but I just would like it to fix it by next semester.
It would have to be tackled next month then, if we're gonna do that. Prior to, even January would be too late.
If anybody agrees,
Let's put it on the agenda, take a look at it, we can get Bob's, both Bob's, I guess, high effect.
Yeah.
Opinion on that too.
And that's all. Volleyball had a great year.
Yeah.
We had a great coach. Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
Andrea?
I was at the football game on Friday, and it was so cool. The band was awesome. That was my band was amazing. And so good job to the boys on continuing on their journey. And middle school wrestling got going. That's been looking good. I don't have anything else.
I don't have anything.
I forgot one of my things, but middle school's doing a food drive this week, so now is an important time. So if you have things, take it to the middle school. And the play is this weekend, so let's show them get some support. I know they're super excited about it.
Well, I'm like Andrea. Friday night was a fun night, especially with the alumni band, and the team's doing good. Coach Meeks is doing a wonderful job, and Mr. Wellington is doing one hell of a job on that field because it was picture perfect.
Just one comment goes to Kennedy on their Halloween October
that was fun.
candy handout. I didn't know that they did that before this year, and it was really a neat experience to see how the police block off the ends of Woodlawn and they circle around, and then I had the fortune or misfortune going through the haunted house.
We lost Jim. It was really dark.
Yeah, we were out there for a while before we shut down. So, I almost got my phone out to put the light on it because I couldn't see my hand. But I thought that was really neat for the kids.
It was, yeah. I want to say something as well about we just lost Lou Ann Myers, who was a long time longtime district employee and secretary. So wanted to mention her because she was a great load.
Okay, nothing else, we'll go into executive session for our non-elected personnel for 30 minutes to include Adam, Chad, Darcy. We'll keep Brian Oxford on call. We'll resume at 7:35. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A second? All in favor?
Be right back.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye, and opposed same.
For some reason, I thought the negotiations was first, so that's why I added
Please
an
do.
extra 10 minutes so that you could.
Okay, we are back in open session. No action was taken. We're gonna go back into executive session for non-elected personnel for 20 minutes. We'll have Adam, Chad, Darcy, and Brian Offgarden on call. We'll resume at 7:55. Get a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion, got a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say.
Andrea, can I take your Reese's?
Yeah, so mine. I still have Kit Kats.
Okay,
that's the
last
one
call,
you're
instead of
playing.
on call.
I'm sure, I did share with Brenda.
During last call instead of on call?
Not me. Maybe when I was younger.
Oh, okay. Stop and walk
Okay.
through.
Oh, yeah.
We are back in open session. No action was taken. We're gonna go into executive session for negotiations to include Adam, Chad, and Darcy for 25 minutes. We'll resume at 8:20.
I said, don't say 30 minutes, well, you
Can I
didn't.
get a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion? Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed, same.
Here we go.
You can give it to the other if you want.
Okay. You guys do that to me a lot. I'm like,
Yeah, I'll agree.
That's right.
It's your turn.
First thought you sort of said support live museums.
No music, it's for the,
Well,
it's for the WHS music
We were
department.
sitting sideways and
Well, those two, those are always fun in fourth
museum was
grade.
coming to my head and I'm thinking, oh.
All right, we are
museum,
back in
whatever.
open session. No action was taken. Are we just doing non-elected right now? Okay, we're going back into executive session for non-elected personnel to include Adam and Chad for 20 minutes. We're resuming at 8:40. Motion?
Nancy, go home.
So moved.
Huh?
Second?
Go home and.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same.
This is better before
I'm doing all right.
Did you say 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I said yes.
Okay.
Married to my wife?
She did get she got the trim of the laundry room painting. It's only been up for 2 years.
And we're back.
We're back in open session. No action was taken. Next up, the consent agenda.
Okay. Approve the minutes of the October 13th regular meeting. Approve payroll and bills. Payroll $1,257,182.52. Bills $786,064.40. Personnel, approve new hires. Tanner Meyer, 8th grade girls assistant basketball coach, middle school. Jeff Elkins, para at Kennedy. Alicia Dansby Conwell, esports sponsor at the high school. Kobe Harris, custodian at the high school. And Erica Walker, Title I aide at Lincoln. Approve resignations. Andrew Kirkpatrick, assistant wrestling coach at the high school. And approve admin contracts as presented.
Okay. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
A motion, can I get a second? Second. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say?
Before you adjourn, can we discuss real quick, are we going to just have a short meeting before our work session next Monday about the contract? Or, I just wanna make sure we're all on the same page how we wanna do that.
You just need 4 of us, like, if we.
Oh, you mean Monday before our work session? Like
Yeah, if
the
we
10
did,
minutes before our work session
Yeah,
starts?
if we did a meeting for it from 6 to 6:10 and then did our work session at 6:10? Or would we wanna just, a few of us get together Friday morning?
So you wanna do a special meeting followed by a work session? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
I don't know, that's what I'm asking, these are our options.
Is that against the rules or is that?
I don't know. I'd
Well,
have to look into
we'll
that.
check
So do we need
before.
to do it a different day? So do we need
I
to
mean,
do
why
something?
couldn't we? Why couldn't, because we have the budget meeting and then the budget meeting and then the the budget hearing and then.
Yeah, they're just all actual meetings. I assume you can, but
I would think so, but
we'll double
I
check.
would like to check.
Just because it's butted up with a work
Would it
session
be-
instead of multiple meetings.
I'll throw this out there. Lori had mentioned that we only need 4 to approve. I get, Adam wouldn't be here, do we need Adam here? But Friday morning, in theory.
morning.
Oh, I won't be here, yeah, I'm going too.
I
I
was
could
just
be
saying.
here.
Well, I'm just thinking of what we need to do to get it approved. I don't know, I'm just throwing that one out too, as an option.
But I can be here and then go up late. That's not a big deal.
I'm not gonna make you do that. Chad can do it, right?
Chad's in Omaha.
Chad's in Omaha, okay, so.
Yeah,
Okay, well then that's
just
not
stay
gonna
here.
work, we're not gonna have people here, okay. Can
try to
you
do it
check and see
Monday,
if we could do that on Monday?
Yep.
And if not, will you send out an email to see when we can get at least 4 of us together to approve the contract?
Anything else?
Sorry.
Okay, it's meeting's adjourned.
Wait,
Oh,
No, it's not.
I meant to say, about the
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day thing
Oh, yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't have it written down, so if you've never been, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's just
At the
wonderful.
high school?
10 o'clock
Yes.
tomorrow.
10 o'clock?
Yep.
In the auditorium or
Yes.
the?
Auditorium.
Auditorium.
It's a wonderful.
I'm glad you said that. That's
I
good
totally
call.
forgot.
Okay, anything else? Okay, meeting's adjourned. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Wait.
I've never seen you use the gavel, Brandon. I think that's.
I would have. Hey, you know what? I almost used it a couple weeks ago.
I almost.
Were you gonna rip it out of my hand and drink it?
You guys not know the meeting's over?
I think we probably just
It's over.
call.